Welcome everyone to Jasper's TV episode 307. Today is November 8th, 2016, the day in which we learn which maniacal maniac is going to be the president of the United States. I'm hoping that it's neither of our two most leading options. No further comment on that. Today we're going to play something called Pawnyhouse. It was suggested to us by a commenter on YouTube, and it was a brilliant idea. It's a cross between chess and Crazyhouse. The idea is the pawns are playing Crazyhouse. The rest of the pieces just play chess. So when you capture a pawn, you can add it to the board later as your move. But when you capture a different piece, you may not. Now that's kind of like going on the honor system, because we're going to choose the Crazyhouse variant to play this. We're just going to say you're not allowed to place those non-pawn items. So let's head over and create a challenge right here. There we go. I have trouble with my control sometimes. Let's play with a friend and let's make it crazy. 1-4 sounds good. Rated. Yes, rated. Rated Pawnyhouse. This is the only place you're ever going to get rated Pawnyhouse. Throw that match in the chat. So if you want to play with the Wiz, this is your chance to do that. There we go. Much better view. Where are the pieces cut off? That's not cool. Oh, everything's kind of cut off right now. What if I use my down arrow? Nope. What if I use my down arrow now? Oh, yeah, that's beautiful. Oh, wow, chess whiz, that's great. You know, the chessboard, I think the chessboard could be... chessboard's perfect. All right, what are we playing? You may drop pawns, but nothing else. We'll see how this goes. This is my first time trying this, actually, because as a rule, when I find out about something really cool, I don't investigate any further until we have an episode so that I can be a complete clumsy noob in the broadcast. Because if I were some kind of pro, you'd be like, this guy is not legit. He seems to know what he's doing, so I try to avoid that at all costs. Hello, Flicker Alex 1992. You really should get a username that doesn't have your birth year in it. Kind of gives it away. We're waiting for it to move. Someone else should play. It's okay. Do you know Crazyhouse? If he can't play Crazyhouse, he can't play Pawnyhouse, that's for sure. Let's adjust this positioning slightly more so we can see those pawns and such very well. Okay. And then let's move Chess Whiz down a bit. Ooh. And my head is kind of cut off, so let's fix that. There we go. Talking Heads Whiz. This is fantastic. So if he does not know Crazyhouse, we will need a new opponent. Okay, he does have Crazyhouse. Only pawns play Crazyhouse. Make a move. Make a move, man. Just play. Just make a move. Okay, maybe we're going to have to find a different opponent. But you know what we can do? We can make that in a new tab here. I'm opening a new browser tab. I'm going to start a second game with another friend so that we mitigate the risk of this guy never moving. So here's a new challenge. What we've got now is 2 games going on at once. We've got this old game where the guy wants to play a new game with me. And we've got this one. This is so confusing. What? This is not a great start to the episode, but let's accept this challenge and see what happens. Now I'm white, so I can play a move. This is great. Over here, we also have a challenge floating out there in the chat. Okay, so pawns, you can drop pawns, but nothing else. You may drop, let's put that in the chat. You may drop pawns, but you may not drop non-pawns. Does that make sense? So this sacrifice is super powerful now because it gives me a pawn. However, the power of sacrifices in Crazyhouse is the fact that when the king comes floating out in the center, you've got power to checkmate him with. You can like drop your knights and queens and such and checkmate him. But in this variant, you don't get to drop any of that stuff, only pawns. So I don't think I want to make the sacrifice. I think I would be giving up too much for too little, which does happen, but I don't want to do it on purpose. Castling, brilliant idea. So far, we're playing a very quiet game. Literally, that's actually a pun. This opening is called the quiet game. Now, knight a5, that seems a little bit strange. I mean, your bishop is sitting there still, and you're running around with your knight already. I'm going to actually ignore it because I think I can get a few moves quickly here with the knight d5 and start putting pressure on him. And by ignoring it, he spends a lot of time on these moves, and maybe I'll get enough time in exchange for that to make this go in a powerful fashion. Sound Slightly quieter. Perfect. You didn't see that, but I turned down the volume a little bit. Okay, so knight here. So now I've got a pin. I've got a knight coming in. We're not allowed to drop our knight and bishops. So he understands that. But if I ever capture a pawn, that's going to be, whoa, powerful. So he did move his pinned knight. This is actually a strategy people use in Crazyhouse sometimes, but I don't think it's going to work out here when you only have pawns you can drop. I've got this move with check. He has 2 pawns he can drop. I'd love to save my bishop, but I better play these moves first. And now I can't drop any of my things, but I have a queen extra, so I should be able to win this. I think knight g5 might be good. Probably not wise, though. So he has some power on the dark square, some serious power. You guys know how if none of your pawns are on a certain color, the opponent can kind of really control those colors. Like here, I don't have a lot of control on the dark squares, but he can add 2 pawns to this position. So imagine if he adds a pawn here and here. That could really drive a wedge into my position. Fortunately, I would just sacrifice a piece for that. I think I would be like, okay, I'm going to trade my knight for those 2 pawns. Or if he puts it here and here, I'll just trade my knight for the pawns that way. So a knight for 2 pawns seems worth it when you can drop pawns. So I'm not too worried, actually. Hey, look at that move. Okay, so that was worth it. That was worth it. I know it used my entire turn. I really had to give up a lot because it's not my turn anymore, but I'd say it was worth it. Queen here. He no longer controls the dark squares. Got this rook at any time I want. This couldn't be going better. This is going so well. Shout out to San Francisco. Sometimes I say that, but that's okay. Okay, I'll just keep taking you. I have 2 pawns to drop now. He's really floundering. I think that's safe. I mean, he can only drop pawns. Are you going to checkmate me with pawns only? I doubt it. Oh, I can't add that. Okay. So he's got a bishop he can use to bring in the game, and he's got pawns. Can you checkmate with only pawns? I think we're going to find out here that the answer is in the negatory. This guy's in trouble. Congratulations, you caused me to be in check. Yep, and now you're out of power. I have 4 pawns to drop now, so I think pawn at the 7th rank. I think I can do some fancy stuff with my pawns here. 4 pawns, yeah. Oh, I've got this also. Overlooks checkmate. Okay. Just keep adding pawns. I mean, this is going to be pretty powerful now. Yeah, I'd say he's got some trouble right here. I also had this checkmate, didn't I? Should I promote some more? Just keep promoting. So this is something I envisioned when I thought about this variant. It's like after you've traded down into the late middle game, early end game, you can start putting your pawns on the 7th rank and just promoting them in one move and make a lot of queens. So I could add a pawn here and promote, add a pawn here and promote. So I'm actually ahead by about 4 queens right now, which is a significant advantage. I really think I have the advantage in this position. I really do. In fact, it startles me that he would like to continue making chess moves here. I could add a pawn. Yeah, I need more queens, of course. You can never have too many queens, unless you're not a Mormon. Time for a promo. Assistant Vice Weasel. I really enjoyed the book Way of the Weasel by Scott Adams this week. I kind of binge read the end of it because it was tickling my funny bone. I wouldn't recommend it if you want to be a normal human being, but fortunately, I have no such aspirations. I think 3 queens is enough. I might be able to find a checkmate here. It's very possible. Check. How does he survive this? Answer? Hands-free checkmate. This is my favorite kind of checkmate, is where you're like, yes, checkmating in the sky. The pieces move for you because you're that good. So that was exciting. I think I have another tab going on here. Yes, a game against Wolf. Are you ready? So let's close Aller. That was interesting. He says, well played, thank you. I'm going to say thank you as well with my mouse, even though It's pretty insincere when you're just clicking a button. He's aborted it, so I'm assuming that means he's not ready. Let's play another game. That was interesting. So we learned if you trade down a bunch and then you like take a queen for free, then that's pretty good. That's what we've learned so far. Not too educational yet, but you did see how that pawn dropped on c7, that pawn dropped on e7, really created queening threats. And I think that's going to be a recurring theme if we actually play a serious game here, where you've got to guard your back rank, because otherwise they're going to make some queens and do a number on you. And it's not going to be a very comfortable number. Play double king pawn. In Crazyhouse chess, I like the e5 move because it puts some counter pressure in the center. It's not like just capitulating on move 1. Can I play this? Take, take, here, and then whoosh, here, attacking these two. Okay, and then he can't add anything too scary. Yeah, it seems okay. I know that in chess this is a reasonable opening, but who knows in crazy pawns? Who knows if it is or not? Or is it pawn crazy? I don't remember anymore. So this is called the exchange, Ruy Lopez. The white player gains a better pawn structure by virtue of the opponent's pawn structure getting worse, which is, by the way, just as important. Everything's relative in life. I mean, if you cut off everybody's arm, then you would have the most arms on the planet, and that's just as good as gaining an arm. Trust me. F6. And then the other thing that white gets is fewer bishops, which is actually bad. So it's a trade-off. You double the opponent's pawns, but you have fewer bishops. And that's the way life goes sometimes. Is he really going to play d4? Let's see if he enjoys bishop g4, putting pressure on everything that would ever be useful on the d4 square. We don't have any pawns in the pocket yet, so I'm still feeling safe. I don't want to give up my two bishops advantage here. So let's say I play back. He plays g4 and I'm playing back here. Okay, so now he might play d4. How is this going to look? He's got 3 defenders. 1, 2, 3. I've got 2 attackers. 1, 2. I love these colors, by the way. I wish I could add a mauve to the board. If I ever learn what color mauve is, I'll probably stop saying that. Maybe I should just give up the bishop. I've got the 3rd attacker here. I'll give up the bishop. Now he can't play d4, so I'm amused. Silently laughing to myself. You see the bishops, not very silently I suppose, are both dark square. That means that they can attack each other, which means they're going to trade. So don't even worry, these bishops are going to trade. It's a much different position if it was so a light squared and a dark squared, because if the knights traded, we have an opposite color bishops ending, which is a much different flavor than a non-opposite colored bishops ending. Non-opposite is a new prefix I've designed. It's very descriptive. This color is non-opposite red. It means it's not the opposite of red. Okay. So we'll just continue developing our pieces here. I think if I just put some pressure on this d-file, he might have trouble with his backward pawn. You know, if he pushes, his pawn structure is strong and cool. However, he can't push. I'm trusting because I have 3 attackers. He has only 2 defenders, so he can't push that pawn. So now I put pressure on that file. This pawn can't be guarded by a pawn. And chess is all about pawns. Pawnyhouse even more about pawns. That means, in conclusion, I have a target right here. He can't really support it. Now he can. Should I play c5? Yeah. Just want to keep this pawn from advancing. That's like my only goal right now. So my bishop is awful now. So maybe I made a mistake. Yeah, I think I made a mistake. Sorry. I'm going to play b6. And now my bishop is so cool. This bishop a7, you see what it's doing right now? It's protecting b8. This is critical because it can now move to b8. Wow, bishop, you're fantastic. This bishop is awful. But what if I play f5? I think f5 is the next step here. And then f4 when he's not looking. Because if I put more pawns on the dark squares, he'll never suspect it. He'll never expect it or suspect it or any other kind of pecked. It just won't happen in his mind until it happens on the board. And it will never happen on the board. We just traded pawns. Whatever. Do I have problem? No. So maybe I could push this. How dumb would that be? If it's under about 50% dumb, then I'm willing to do it. Oh no, it's 100%. No. Okay, so when he takes me, I've got problems. Big ones, right? Oh, he took with queen. That's much better. If he took with pawn, he'd be attacking my rook at the same time that my unguarded rook was discovered attacked. Meanwhile, this rook is pinned to my queen from his queen. Whew, that was a close call. So I've only blundered one pawn. Feeling pretty good about that. I can also drop a pawn here. So don't forget about the Pawnee pawns. Well, I'm not sure what to do with it, though. This pawn, we've got this pin. I'm seeing things happening here. Let's just start this way. Oh. My bishop was so excited it could hardly land on h2, but I think this move is going to come as some surprise to him. This would be the second opponent in 2 chess games that has blundered his queen. So this is pretty exciting for me. And I have 3 pawns to drop, and this is going to be some kind of checkmate here. One of my favorite kinds, of course. And that would be the kind where my opponent gets checkmated. There's really only 2 kinds of checkmate. Let's go here. And then here. Yes, this is quite good for the player who isn't him. I have 5 pawns to drop. I should put one here and then promote it. And you are out of pawns to drop. Let's just checkmate you. Yeah. Checkmate seems reasonable. Checkmate, man. So I never dropped any pawns. It was just like a test game where, oh, look, a free queen. I took it and I won. That was great. But you know what? I thought about dropping pawns. That's why this variant is different. You think about things that you don't do, and then you just play chess. I don't think I've really explored every nuance of this variant yet. I think having your opponent blunder your queen in the middle game somewhat disrupts the thought processes. But still, I like winning. So 2 out of 2, that's pretty good. Let's see what happens next when we play a 3rd game, because I'd really like to play a 3rd game of this Pawnyhouse right now. Play with a friend. Let's see who's going to jump into this from the chat. Throw this in the chat. First person to click it gets the game. Bam! See what happens while I drink some of this vase. I'm being asked if I voted in the political election. Maybe. Let's make that more complicated. Maybe I haven't. You know, people say maybe I have, and it kind of is like 75% yes, you know? Maybe I haven't. Now you don't know what to think. Okay, Wolf, you may drop pawns, but not non-pawns. Did we just play with Wolf? I can't rewind the YouTube video because I'm not in a YouTube video. It just looks like I am. So I'm actually not sure who I just played, but I think I can find out by going to my profile. Look at that profile. It's like chopped up everywhere. That's a pretty cool profile. I last played against Crepuscular. Of course. How could I forget that? So now this is our first game with Wolf. Hopefully he obeys the rules. Otherwise I might be screwed. Hoping he obeys the rules here. Let's test this. Got it? Just ask him real quick. We're playing another Giuoco piano here. I'm feeling great. This is one of the favorite moments of my life. This is actually the only moment of my life that is currently now. Every other moment is either in the past or the future. Makes this one the best. Let's go for that pin. I had a good time with this kind of thing going on. Let's go do it right now. Who cares about castling? Let's get that knight under pressure. I don't think I should take this. That probably means I will, right? Nah, I won't. Bishops are great. They're worth more than knights. They're worth 3.1 pawns, and knights are only 3 pawns. I made that up, but it's true. It's hard to promote a 1/10 of a pawn. What happens is you get it to the back rank, and it becomes a 1/10 of a queen. It's very confusing. That's why I don't usually win with such a small advantage. Okay, so we're playing knight d5. We're not even castling. We're just going to put pressure here on this knight and see what happens. If he plays g5, I'm going to say cowabunga. Cowabunga! He played g5. That was one of the best moments of chess with TV. I don't know why. Knight takes bishop. Oh, good. My knight can't capture my own bishop. You know, if chess rules, if you guys watch my show, you would know that I'm constantly capturing my own pieces like this. I'm like, what do I want to move this? Oh, I know. I'll take my own piece. If they subtly change the rules on this website so you could capture your own piece with a cheating move, I would lose so fast. Every one of my pieces would be consumed by my own pieces. It'd be awful. You got to watch out for that. But it's actually a great technique for you guys who are actually trying to improve at chess, which is actually just one of you. What you can do here is if you want to make a move really quickly and you're like, wait, I don't want to move this piece, drag it onto one of your own pieces. In fact, drag it to the piece that you actually want to move. So here I've got the c-pawn in my mouse right now, but I want a castle. So drag it to the king, which you're going to move for castling, and then swap your button from on to off and then to on again. And then bam, you can move that other piece. So that's the technique I use to be super quick, and you can use it too. I won't even charge you. Okay, so it's bishop against bishop with a bishop on a bishop, and I need to move my bishop. I'll move my queen instead. Looks kind of drawish here. Not a lot happening. I will play... Oh no, I'm going to play this move. I shouldn't have done that. Definitely changes up the pawns though if he takes me. So who has the better of this position? With c4, I put all the pawns on his color right here. What's wrong with my shift key? Look at that. He has a bad bishop right now. So I'm happy about that. It's just bishops, rooks, and queens. A very interesting game. No pawns have been traded yet. Let's get off the dark squares here. We know that he has a domination on the dark squares. Maybe double the rooks here. Let's put it all on dark. I like this. I'm trapping all his pawns on dark. It's great for me. Because that means his bishop is nothing more than what they say, what they call a tall pawn. Tall pawn is what they call that. I think I got some targets here. Got a target here, there, and everywhere. We haven't traded any pawns yet, which I find to be amusing. He actually might have a problem if I play bishop e3. This battery hitting g, whatever that is, that's a number. Twice? How will he defend that? Oh, with a rook. Oh, that's exciting. Oh, ooh, chess. I have to say something like that, otherwise you just turn off the show. Ooh, pieces are moving around on this chessboard. This is great. I am thrilled by this position. It's a lie, actually. It's super boring. Okay, what if I play a 4? It's going to cause trades and consternation. Mostly trades, though. I'll do it, because you know what? Everything I have is pointed in this direction. The rooks, the bishops, everything is doing it, right? The rooks are kind of a maybe about that direction. Ooh, what? No. You may only draw pawns. I'm going to add him some time to show that he should add me some time. Of course, this reminds me, I have a horrible problem right now because he's going to take a pawn and then put a pawn right there. Ouch. So maybe I should have thought this through. I'll sacrifice my bishop. Do you know why I'm doing that? Neither do I. It's because I don't want this to attack this square. Hopefully he reads in English. Let's see if what country he's from. He's from the country of Espanol. It's kind of dubious. That's my only move. Okay, so now I'm down an entire rook. I can't take that though, because this is pinned. So let's pin it. Yikes, down a rook. Fortunately, his bishop is super bad. It's going to take him 4 moves before he can do anything. So that'll help me. Down a rook is significant. Do you think I can win when I'm down a rook? I think so, because I have 4 pawns. Do you know what I can do with those? Put them all on the 7th rank here, and then bam, I've got 4 queens. It's like bam, I got 4 queens. Let's make it happen. Oh, he takes this. No, no. I gotta win this chess game. The only alternative, if I don't, is a draw or a loss. I don't like that. Oh, see, he's scared of this fork right here. That's why he moved. So I've got chances right here. Let's make it happen. Let's start with a move that's so smart. You can't do that. Did that just fly out from nowhere? Take back. So just to make sure. Yeah. You may only drop pawns. Please read that. Oh, okay, much better. Okay, so now let's add a pawn. I have so many pawns, I might as well add pawns for a while. Okay, so my plan is working. I have 3 more pawns. I can add them like this, and that will be 4 queens. Fantastic. This is actually working for me, even though I'm down a rook. I'm pretty excited about this. Okay, does he have any checks? He doesn't even have any checks. His checkbook is empty. Let's put more pawns on the board. This guy is in trouble. Okay, I think I should add a pawn here. Why not? I got plenty of pawns, man. Just keep putting pawns on the board until it's checkmate. It's kind of funny. Okay, so now I can just promote here. And then win a rook, and then win a queen, win a king, something like that. Wow, what a great variant. If only we had some chess players who didn't cheat and didn't hang their queens. So I win. Great. So actually, once again, we learned in this game, you got to guard your 7th rank. I mean, if you look at this position, you're like, oh no, chess was total loss on G2. But I actually am not sure about that here. I mean, in this position, I think I've got a great advantage because I have 4 pawns in the pocket, which is worth a rook and a bishop for sure. Well, this bishop turns out is nothing. It's not even a tall pawn. It is absolutely nothing. So that's causing him a big problem. The rook, that's great, but he's not using it and he's not able to use it. Something's on fire. Don't worry about it. So, stop it. Smoke alarms going off. This is Jazz TV. This has been Jazz TV. Thanks for watching. My house is on fire. I'll see you later.